Okay, sex magic. In order to properly understand sex magic, I want us to look at, and what I'm about to read you right now is actually there on Wikipedia. So you can actually look this up yourself. Just look up greater and lesser magic. So here it is. I'll read you something. It says, greater and lesser magic, known also as high and low magic or collectively satanic magic, within Laveyan Satanism, designate types of beliefs with the term greater magic applying to ritual practice meant as psychodramatic catharsis to focus one's emotions for a specific purpose, and lesser magic applied to the practice of manipulation by means of applied psychology and glamour or wile and guile to bend an individual or situation to one's will. The greater magic, you use your emotions. The lesser magic, you manipulate someone. You manipulate someone. Let's go down to read more about greater magic. Greater magic is a ritual performed in order to focus one's emotional energy. Emotional energy for a specific purpose. These rites are based on three major psycho-emotive themes, including number one, compassion, that is love, destruction, that is hate, and sex, which is lust. Greater magic is a ritual that is performed in order to focus one's emotional energy for a specific purpose. And what are the emotive themes that you can use to do this? It's called psycho-emotive themes. Number one is compassion, love. The other one is destruction, hate. The other one is sex, lust. So, compassion. Giving alms to people because you want to gather emotional energy. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, Jesus. If you read down, that's exactly what he's talking about. All these people who are evil, and I'm not saying it's not good to give alms. They do a lot of charity. When we were young, we were growing up, my father used to tell me, my father was an idol worshiper, used to say that the God said that he should go and do charity and give to people. That is a form of satanic worship that the man was indulging. Charity is a good thing. Helping people is a good thing. But it's also a form of satanic worship. They gather that energy because they want to use it to focus and get something. You will see one occultist will come and buy things and put everywhere. He's using the compassion magic. It's called greater magic. That's compassion. The other one is destruction, hate. You can use that one too as a greater magic, and so much can be involved in that. And the next psycho-emotive theme with which you can perform greater magic by using your emotion and focusing them is what? Sex. How many times have I talked about this in the past? Sex magic. Sex magic involves two. And it can also go one. Actually, sex magic is originally meant to be one. Let me help you understand further beyond what we're reading here. Okay? Sex magic originated from witches. Before I give you references, let me read you something that is said about lesser magic. So you understand that sex magic originated from witches, number one. The bedrock of it is masturbation, number two. It is meant to be done by one person and now can also be done by two people. And I will explain that. Let's read lesser magic. Lesser magic, also referred to as everyday or situational magic, is the practice of manipulation by means of applied psychology. LaVey wrote that a concept in lesser magic is the command to look, which can be accomplished by utilizing elements of sex, sentiment, and wonder. In addition to the utilization of looks, body language, sense, color, patterns, and other, LaVey wrote that terms fascination and glamour have origins in the word of coercive magic. The word fascination comes from the Latin word fascinare, which means to cast a spell upon. Fascinate, manipulation. When you dress very provocatively, you are indulging in a lesser magic. Fascinate, to cast a spell on. That's why they realize that with lesser magic, they cannot restrict it to the church of Satan or to the ritual centers. They said, why don't we make the rest of the world get involved in the performance of this magic with us? And so how did they do it? They went to fashion. And they took fashion and redesigned fashion and transformed fashion in such a way that today, even the most unnoticeable fellow on the street, when she walks, even girls who walk on the streets in Africa can dress in some certain ways that when you drive, you think like, oh my gosh, what is this? Lesser magic is meant to make you change your will. It wants to twist your way, manipulate your will, and make you, if you were going this way, you change your mind and start going that way. That's what lesser magic is meant to accomplish. They deploy sex in it. They deploy fashion in lesser magic. You see the lady, you were heading to somewhere to do something else. All of a sudden, you have changed course. And you're now heading in that direction. For the next 1 hour, 2 hours, you are on this girl. Your appointment is gone to blazes. She cast a spell on you. Sometimes you see men will come out of that spell and they'll be wondering, what was wrong with me? What was I even doing? There are some people that on that course they go, following that girl, they will never stop until they take her and sleep with her somewhere. Whatever appointment they were pursuing is gone. Lesser magic. The devil decided to get the rest of the world involved in his magical performances. So they went to fashion and they changed fashion and they gave it to you. And you even wear that to church. A brother is sitting behind you or standing behind you in church and praise and worship is going on. But the brother is so distracted because all the contours and linings of your body well mapped out because of fashion. Even the panties, everything is showing. It's almost like you're not wearing anything. You are a magician working for Satan. I'm sorry, I'm not preaching. I'm telling you what is written here. You can just go to Google, type greater and lesser magic. So I can read you everything. So you can read all of it and see how they explained everything. This is not just a Okechukwu preaching fanatic. No, I'm not a fanatic. I'm telling you what is written here. Greater magic involves more. This one involves, they got you to be a part of the magical performances. When you dress immodestly, you are performing lesser magic as outlined by the church of Satan. So we all are busy obeying satanic commandments while disobeying biblical godly commandments. So let's go to ritual and ceremonial rites. So the founder of the church of Satan wrote a book called the Book of Belial. Now, under rituals and ceremonial rites, it says, in the book of Belial, he discusses 3 types of rituals. Lust rituals, lust, L-U-S-T, lust rituals, which work to entice another person. Destruction, to destroy another person. And the compassion rituals, to improve health. Do you remember what I told you about the 3 psycho-emotive themes? Listen to it again. The rituals, these are rituals. Number 1 is lust. He said, lust rituals which work to entice another person, which is what they did with fashion. Destruction rituals to destroy another person, okay? And then compassion rituals to improve health, intelligence, and success. That's what they used to tell us. These occultic people will go and do stuff, and they say that they were instructed to give alms to people because they want to improve their success. It's a form of ritual they're performing. Now, let's read further. It said, lost rituals are designed to attract the desired romantic or sexual partner and can involve masturbation with orgasm as the goal. This is a book written by the founder of Church of Satan. It's called the Book of Belial, Belial. The lost ritual involves masturbation. And as we move further, I will prove to you that the bedrock of sex magic is masturbation. Everybody already knows me as the poster child for masturbation all over on the internet. It's here. Go to Wikipedia. You will find it there. And orgasm is where the focus is. He said with orgasm as the goal. That's how you perform your lust ritual. Use that energy and send it out for lust. All of these are parts of satanic worship. Destruction rituals are designed to do harm to others and involve the symbolic annihilation of an enemy through the use of vicarious human sacrifice, often involving a customized effigy representing the intended victim, which is then put through ritual fire, smashing, or other representation of obliteration. Compassion rituals are designed with the intent of helping people, including oneself, to evoke overwhelming pathos or sadness, and crying is strongly encouraged. Helping people to evoke overwhelming pathos or sadness, and crying is strongly encouraged. So it's not everybody who gives alms or does charity is actually doing it genuinely. Many do that because they have to perform this magic or ritual to sustain their success. And it looks good in the sight of people, but you don't know that this is where it's coming from. And I'm not saying, please let people not be discouraged from giving to people. That this is the truth. We need to lay the cards out on the table. To keep in mind, masturbation is the bedrock of sex magic. So now let's move to those references. So the caption here says, people are using sex magic to get what they want. Sex magic works by harnessing sexual and orgasmic energy and using it to help manifest something you desire. Oh my God. You harness your sexual orgasmic energy. So first of all, two things. Sexual energy, you are in the mood. Orgasmic energy, when you reach orgasm. What do you do when you masturbate? Masturbation never ends until orgasm is achieved. This is it. So let's move further. Let's go down. So you will look, don't take my word for it. Let's just go down. In a spell, a witch will raise energy for a desired outcome. Who? A witch will raise energy for a desired outcome through a cone of power, which is when you build up energy and then when it's at its highest, you send it through your body to the cosmos, explains Gabriela Harstik. Sex magic is using orgasms, a very potent form of energetic release to do this. Orgasms. I say when you make love to your wife is the most spiritual moment of your marriage. That's when you have the greatest energy to do anything. You and your wife, even prayer requests. When you're making love, you are tendering prayer requests to God. It is a higher form of worship to the Most High. Look at what witches are doing. I will prove to you that witches are the one who invented sex magic. What is sex magic? Sex magic is a manipulation of the power that God gave to us through sexual intercourse in a properly constituted Christian marriage. When you manipulate it, you get sex magic. When you use it well, you get sex miracle. We read further. It says practitioners say they're able to achieve a variety of outcomes when harnessing the power of sex magic. People who practice sex magic typically think of an intention. What is it that they want to manifest or connect to before masturbating? Can you see that now? They think of that before masturbating to show you that masturbation is the bedrock of sex magic. Sex magic involving two people it came afterwards. The real sex magic is masturbation. And it was invented by witches. If you can prove me wrong anywhere, please do so and post it. Witches invented it. I'll read that again. People who practice sex magic typically think of an intention. What is it that they want to manifest or connect to before masturbating? Explains Herstick. Once the intention is set, they start going at it. They think of what they want. And you have to be worshiping Satan to do this. And once they can focus their mind on that thing they want, then they start masturbating. So that sexual energy of masturbation and then the orgasm and the orgasmic energy will come together and they will now use it and direct it at that thing they are looking for. Boom! The devil will now grant their wish and give them whatever it is. This is how so many Satanists have gotten the men they want. They've gotten so many things. And of course, at the end of the day, you know what happens with all those gifts from Satan. She goes further and she says, as you masturbate, focus your intention in your mind's eye, says Herstick. The key supposedly is to focus on your breath and connect that breath to your intention as you masturbate. Then as you orgasm, imagine your intention as a beam of light shooting out the crown of your head and jetting into the cosmos. You see what I'm talking about? Sex magic. Masturbation is the bedrock of sex magic. And it was invented by witches. So here's another write-up published by Vice. It says, given the preponderance of love spells and evil yet seductive witches in pop culture, you know pop culture? Recently, a pop artist came out with what he called Satan's shoes. And that was just shortly after he had already had a simulated gay sexual intercourse with Satan in his video, his music video. A guy called Lil Nas X. He's a pop star. And here, what are we reading? He said, given the preponderance of love spells and evil yet seductive witches in pop culture, it's understandable that sex magic is so often misunderstood, okay? But according to those who practice the erotic craft, it's just another form of magical manifestation. Now, how does it work? He says, you have an intention, and you're using orgasm or sex as a tool to achieve that particular intention, explains Kat Cabral, a Wiccan priestess, Wiccan witch priestess, who managed the East Village occult shop enchantments for more than a decade. So, when we talk about sex magic, people don't understand. There's a man called Aleister Crowley. He's regarded as the wickedest man that ever walked the surface of this earth. He was a British man. Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was said to have performed the most child sacrifices ever performed by any human being in the world. And Aleister Crowley was the great-grandfather of sex magic in all of this world. He has written books on it. Here's what is written here on Vice. He said, the most notorious sex magic practitioner in recent history is Aleister Crowley, a famous 19th century British occultist who viewed sex as the supreme magical power. A high-ranking member of the secret society, Ordo Templi Orientis, which uses sex rituals heavily in its initiation ceremonies. He went on to write several books on the use of erotic magic. But you and I, as Christians, we are running away from what God has given to us. Here's another writing on sex magic. Sex magic is a method to an end, a means to gather the great imaginative power of sexual energy to give an aspired result. Primarily, you do sex magic for a reason that drives you to do other magic as well, to make something you aspire to occur. Your objective might be to attract money or promote healing or attain spiritual awareness. When you introduce sexual energy, you build the power of a magic spell. Your intention might be to attract money. So when you build up sexual energy, you build a powerful spell. So you see, we've been able to establish that sex magic, and you can look this up anywhere you want, please. The bedrock of faith is masturbation. Ask anybody about sex magic. Sex magic, the witches who invented it to be done by one person, but they also have it practiced by two people every time. And the one that is done by two people is so dangerous that if you know how it works, look at what this lady said here. She said you can actually build up sexual energy because you want to require money. So for instance, somebody comes to pick you up to have sex with you. You don't know who this person is. And they take you somewhere, they start having sex. Maybe it's a politician or someone, an occultist or whatever. And they're making love to you. Because you are a novice, you have no idea of how sex magic works. This person has already decided what they want by using your energy. They will focus on that thing that they want. As soon as they start having sex with you, they are taking up your energy, sucking it up, and channeling it to that thing they desire. Whether it's a political position, whether it is a promotion in the office or something, they are using your energy, channeling it there so they can accomplish what it is that they want. Their own energy is no longer potent or is even non-existent anymore. So they have to get to yours. That's why you see many rich people, what they do, they go and rent beautiful places and put young girls. They always look for young girls whose energies are still very powerful and potent. You never see them get a house and put a prostitute there because a prostitute is very porous energy-wise. They get young, decent girls from high school, secondary school, or people who just got into the university. Put them somewhere. They usually have a way of knowing a girl who is loaded and full of energy. Fresh energy. They keep you somewhere and you're living a good life. You have television screen, living larger than you're supposed to be living. You are a student, you don't have anything, and you're living this way, buy you a car. You don't know that the car you're driving is a fraction of what they have gotten through your own energy that they are sucking every time they make love to you. You are just literally a living sacrifice to this demonic agent in human form. And you think you are enjoying. You are not enjoying. By the time they are done with you, you become like a carcass. There will be nothing left in your skulls. There will be nothing left in your emotions. You will not be able to appeal to anybody. You will not be able to even please any man because your emotional energy is sucked dry. You are 20-something years old, but you are as dry as a woman who is like 89 to 90 years old in terms of energy. So you are literally an old woman in a young little body because your emotional energy is your life essence. That's what keeps you alive. That's what makes you live long or live short. You sucked it all out and gave it to demons because you're looking for money. Each sexual intercourse you have, do you know the amount of energy he takes at that moment? Do you know how much money he makes for him? And you're there picking up crumbs. I'm feeling good. I'm driving small Range Rover. Hey, range. Nearly all these political figures, especially in Africa, they understand what I'm talking about. Nearly all of them do this. That's why when people get into politics, when people get into the occult, the first thing you notice about them is they become extremely promiscuous. Have you not noticed that? Tell me any politician you know today that is not so promiscuous that when you look at them, promiscuous people will look at them and say, no, this one is too much. That That is the way they survive. They can't live without it because that emotional energy they suck from the women they sleep with from all over the place is what they are using to sustain themselves. I'm telling you the truth. It's called sex magic. They all know this thing. You don't know, but they know. I can tell you they know. Sex magic performed in the form of masturbation and also performed with two people. You have the predator, then you have the prey. That's the highest form of two-person sex magic that takes place today. The predator and the prey. It's like what happens in the USA. You have the vampires. If you doubt me, you can go to their website. They have American Vampire League, AVL. They have it. Vampires who drink human blood. They actually seek human rights in America, right? And so you have vampires who officially look for a host, a woman that when they get you, you go into agreement with them that you're going to be their host. Okay? Being a host means that he will be preying on you. He will be sucking your blood. There was one I even watched. The woman say that she loved the guy and that she wanted to be the person who provides the blood that he sucks. So every day the guy wants to suck blood, he will sink his teeth inside the woman and suck the blood. Up till this day. Go, you can look this up for yourself, please. Human beings, vampires living amongst us, taking up hosts. That's what happens in sex magic. You are willingly becoming a host for a spiritual, satanic, occultic predator who uses everything you have, your life essence, to accomplish his own gain. Just think about that. This is why, again, the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Imagine if we knew the truth. Imagine if we knew exactly what was going on. Would we be living this way? We wouldn't. That's why I'm presenting you with these facts. And I'm pleading with you. I'm your brother. I'm pleading with you. You know, I used to tell my friend, I said, the greatest thing that can ever happen to you on this earth is for you to know God, the power of His might, and to make sure that you don't ever miss heaven. Everything I do today revolves around my desire to make it to heaven. And I know that God is going to help me, and He will help you too. In the name of our risen Lord, Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.